insane. I'm not saying it was completely unjustified.
What were you wearing?
It was, okay, well, I was wearing just like skinny leg black jeans, pretty beat up pair of Chucks that I've had for like 10 years, and just like a t-shirt. But it was 4 a.m., I was wasted, I was pretty high, and I was just like sitting. So my friends live in this neighborhood of Cincinnati called Clifton, which is a pretty nice neighborhood. It's near University of Cincinnati. And I was waiting there around 4 a.m. for another friend who I was staying with that weekend to pick me up. But I was waiting inside because I'm not completely dumb. I was sitting inside the atrium of the apartment building on the floor, and I probably looked like kind of crazy. I mean, I was just like staring off into space with my headphones on. And 2 men walked up outside the building at once. So there was one on my left and one on my right. The one on my left was clearly homeless, and he asked me if I had any money for him, and he asked me if I could let him in, and I said no to both. I mean, I was not having that at that time. So then the guy on the right says, okay, well, you got to get out of here, to the guy on the left. Which seemed like weird timing to me. Like, you just heard this guy ask me if I had any money, and now you're telling me he's got to move on. Like, I was paranoid. And so the guy on the right says, okay, get out of here. And then homeless guy says, well, what about that girl in there? And the guy on the right says, well, I'm going to take care of her. Don't you worry about it.
Oh.
Which, when you're intoxicated at 4 o'clock in the morning alone by yourself in an apartment building atrium that's unfamiliar to you, is not exactly the most comforting thing in the world to hear, right? So I like grab this pen in my pocket, and I'm like, I'm going to get him in the jugular if he tries to get me. So this guy's wearing what in retrospect was clearly like a security uniform, right? Like gray pants, gray shirt, hat. I didn't see the badge because he had a scarf on. It was like late February, early March, still pretty cold out. But he doesn't talk to me in any way. And he doesn't say to me, hey, I need you to get out of there. He just comes up and starts shaking this door like he's going to try to get after me. He doesn't address me or treat me like a person in any way, just shaking this door, and I'm terrified. So as soon as he walks away, I pull out my cell phone, which was at like 0.5% battery. I mean, it had been telling me it was at 1% for an hour, so I was afraid to use it. And I called my friend who was supposed to be coming to pick me up. She was taking forever, and the guy comes back and sees me on my cell phone, and that's when he chooses to speak to me, when he sees that I have something that indicates that I'm of equal socioeconomic status, right? So he knocks on the window, he's like, hey, what are you doing in there? You gotta get out, you can't wait in there. I'm like, I'm waiting for my friend, I'm so sorry. And then his security guard partner comes up and he's like, oh, what, you mean she's not homeless? And I'm just like, nope. And then my friend pulled up and we drove home and it was fine. But it was really interesting to interact with him in that context, and just to see the way I was treated when we thought I didn't have anything, versus when we thought I had something, really spurred like some thought in me. And I've always, I mean, like I just told you, I grew up in a really small town. There were no homeless people in Belleville. There weren't even any black people. It was just like white people central with money. So when I moved to Chicago after I graduated from college, was like the first time I ever even saw a homeless person. And I've never even thought about not like talking to them or interacting with them like they're normal people, because they're just like clearly normal people to me. But lots of people don't, and now I notice it more than I did before. So this piece, the second piece that I'm going to read to you, is about an interaction I recently had with a homeless man on the Monon here in Indianapolis a few weeks ago. So it is called Misconnection, Indianapolis. Me, tiny girl, denim capris, nose ring, short hair, purple earbud headphones. You probably see 20 of me a day in Broad Ripple, but I only saw one of you. Scrawny guy in a navy blue tee, late 40s, filthy socks and Nike Banassi sandals held together by a prayer. Your breath smelled like cheap mash alcohol. You were yelling at 2 younger guys on benches when I strolled up. You followed me. You said, "Miss, can I ask you something?" I stopped and said yes. You were surprised. You told me I was the first white girl who admitted she could hear you through my earbuds. You told me you're living on the street. You told me you got cancer in you and it hurts so bad. I believed you, and you could tell. We shook hands at the place where the Monon meets Broad Ripple Avenue. You asked me to buy you McDonald's. I said no, but offered to pick you something up from CVS since I was going in the other direction. You hesitated, then agreed. I suggested a candy bar because it's filling, but you said your teeth. You can't eat sweets. Barbecue chips, you said, close enough to a candy bar, I thought, all that corn syrup. But I agreed. We promised to meet back at that spot. I bought the bag of chips from that pharmacy, you know. The image on the cellophane was two white people driving into the sunset in a convertible, a woman's face in profile. I thought I would make a joke about it to you, say, look, two white people going on vacation got turned into these chips. I thought that I might tell you there weren't any ethnics on the bags, unless you count that the original Lay's bag is already yellow and those people were outlined in red. What is that, a 2-for-1? I thought that I might tell you I wish someday this could be you and me. Back at the crossroads where we promised to meet, you were nowhere to be found. The two guys you had been yelling at were still there, starting fires in the air with a travel can of hairspray and a lighter. One was saying he used to start them in his room, back when he had one. The other thought it was a bad idea to start them at all. I didn't leave the chips with them, since they seemed like enemies of yours. If you want the chips, or just want to meet again, reply to this and tell me what I dropped on the Monon, what you watched me pick up from a distance. You were cautious, hopeful, like something might be left behind for you after all.